working. Finally, I mean, I'm a bit late. I am a bit late, but that's because I woke up at 1 and I needed to wake up, and then I needed to scoot down to the store and get myself a pink monster because I have truly, utterly deserved it. I am not being blinded by the light today because the sun's there somewhere, and now you can see how red my hair is, truly, and such things. I know what to paint today. Shocker. I am going to paint a statue. It will look like Chuck from Supernatural. Hopefully. I won't be sad if I can't resemble his utter appearance. I won't beat myself too hard if I can't do that. But I will try, sort of. This person is also going to paint earth around him, the statue is sitting and there is shit growing all around, and perhaps some greenery, some maybe a little waterfall, some mist, making it magical, sort of, kind of, definitely. I will try my best, and I right? I don't know how much more I can fit in, but I want the statue to look really, really huge. So therefore, bigger plants, like trees and such as well. Maybe the trees aren't pine trees, they are leaves, and they are perhaps a bit without the leaves, right? It's a bit, maybe it's autumn and the leaves are brown and not with a lot of greenery, because there's a plane, of course, but I want the colors to be sort of purple and dark green, and brown works with purple, so that works. And also some blue, hence a waterfall, that would be blue, but I want it to be, I don't know, maybe I want the blue to be a very light blue to sort of have some brighter points. I did make the canvas with black, white, and purple, so it has this misty look to it, and hopefully I will be able to make something that looks like a statue. And I do want a lot of moss in it, it's overgrown in multiple ways, right? I did not put on music, but I did turn my computer on, and I do know what I'm going to paint. So not necessarily the biggest preparation, but nonetheless a preparation. And I do need to find a cord for the phone so you don't die. Alrighty then. Are you ready to witness this masterpiece coming together? And if I sound like a British person, it's just because I'm trying. I watched Supernatural, right? And there's this a bit more. How to say? The witch Rowlena is actually Scottish, but I don't know how to make a Scottish accent. But probably it'll be okay. I mean, nothing that I say is like my mother's language, so I can speak in whichever accent I want. But this one, I need to switch the water. Now I am prepared and willing to give this a try. Now I removed the bandage, so hopefully I won't get paint on my finger. But I want the statue to be about here, with his legs about there, and I want him to be facing outside of the canvas, and then a bit like overgrown things going on here. Now I do want the perspective to be sort of looking up, so therefore we have this trusty little string, and I need to have it sort of right here. Yes. I've painted one face in my entire life, at least as I can recall. I do reckon that I have on other occasions painted human beings, but not with my skill set today, so I'm a bit concerned, as one might say. But I will have a bit of blue in this color, I mean what's left of it, and I need a bit more purple, perhaps, to sort of, I am starting to not have more purple, so that's why I'm mixing it with blue, so I can have a bit more paint, essentially. And I want this color to be a bit nice looking, because I mean it is a stone statue nonetheless, and I do believe I need a bit more white. We can have a bit more white there, and we can dip it in, and we can have this more blue color than purple, but that's probably fine. So I want the head to be a about here, sort of, and let's just make his entire round shaped head, and therefore, and there we can sort of and from there, you know, he would have to have a neck and like cheekbones, but that it will be from the bottom down, so I need to have like this first, his shoulder blades, and going downwards to like sort of here, and then he can have his hands towards his lap, and then it doesn't look like the perspective I want, but if his feet are like it will be like there, and I need more body here on this side and more arm on this side to have a nice angle, and then I will have to just face him a bit to this side to my best ability, sort of like this, and then his other leg can be here, but that still doesn't look like it's from the downside looking up. So I will have to make his kneecap here, covering his arms. And I would have to make the other kneecap right here, also sort of kind of like this, and then his shoes as well, sort of like this, and we will have to make his arms go a bit more down, because you know the arms touch the hip, or like the elbow point do touch the hip, and then I will have to have him in some sort of clothing. Yes, but I do want to make his face as realistic as possible, so this will be his forehead, and then his nose will be more visible than most things. I do want a smaller pencil. Okay, I don't believe it will look like Chuck, but I mean, you are allowed to hope and try. For whatever reason, you would have to try. So it would be a bit more like this, and a bit more sort of, I have yucky things on my pencil, like so, sort of, and then his mouth, of course, and his jawline needs to be sort of facing. We need to see a lot of his neck. So I do believe I am a bit wrong in this portrayal of a human being, but I mean, I so far I have done worse. um, and then fitting in all his cheekbones and such. Luckily for me, the color is still wet, making my job so much easier. And we can do like so, possibly, and then we can have a bit visibility in the things, you know, sort of like this, and then his little ear, and then his eyes in a straighter way like that. And I mean, at least it looks like he's looking up towards the whatever is the sky, which I am quite pleased about. Because at least I have this going for me. And yeah, don't know how to do that part of the neck sort of shape, but at least it looks like he's sitting. And that is probably the most important thing. And then we need to sort of have him. I have a bit straight shoulder blades because he is thus. We are from a down point, so we will see a bit more of a down position of his body, and I do want him to have some sort of nice and flowy clothing. Don't know quite how to do that, of course, but we will try, and we will sort of just give him a nice flowy rope, as they say, or at least as I am trying to do. And this task is harder than I had imagined. As always, I mean. It is not easy. But at least I am trying. And I am getting a bit of practice on how to make people, although this is a statue, it is a portrait of a human being, so what I say still stands. Like that. And now I just need to have his knees, and I want his knees to be about here, and then them going down in a robe, of course. And I can avoid making feet by having trees. And I do believe that that is a smart alternative, truly. I do believe that this is, so far, it's going okay. it is a bit brighter down here than what I would want, but I need the shapes being in the way I want the shapes to be. And then like going in behind here, and then we can raise the legs just a tiny bit to make that make sense. Dragging it all down again, and then we can have his ass, his bottom, and his arm going to his lap, like so, like so, and his robe, cloak sort of thing going from there up into there and then down again, because that's dimensions for you. I think this is completely okay. I wouldn't say that this is a Picasso, but it looks like a human. At least. And then we can go over his face yet again and try to make a down view of a face, meaning his nose will be sort of up in his eyes, because angles you know, and then we can make his forehead not too big, because then it would look weird, and then his ear yet again, because now everything is sort of bright, so I need to brighten it up. And his mouth will be sort of right there, and then this lump of paint would go on do the cloth, and then I will cheekbone time. I will make his cheekbones a bit like nice and tight looking. Like so, and I can like so, and then we can have his like that, and then we can sort of do something like that. Yes, it looks a bit dumb. Not going to sugarcoat it for you. It looks kind of stupid, but I wanted him to have a beard, so maybe that can fix everything that looks stupid about his face. Perhaps, and then long flowy hair, because of course it looks like a person, at least from your perspective. Now a bit more purple, and then we can have and fill in his hair and such as well. And we can make him a nice huge beard. like so, and then we need it to continue all the way down here, and I want it to look a bit messy because beads on this length will look a bit like it won't be uniformed in like it won't go straight down, it will have these nice curls and such things, sort of like that. And then I need to have a bit more blue, whichever blue there it is. And then I can have a bit of purple in here, making this a nice bluish purple. And then I can fill in what would be shadows, sort of. So it would be shadows from his body, like here, and all the way down here, and then his and when we go up towards sort of here will be brighter, maybe a bit more white and purple. Like so. And then as well as on this side, just about over his shoulders, and yes, that would be nice. And then we can have a bit of that in his beard as well, just for continuities. And then we need to have a bit darker, a bit darkness in this, and we can have that sort of right here in between his feet, and then no hairs please, and coming up from like here it would be dark. I mean, I want it to look like a statue, but it sort of looked like a miscolored real human being. Like, it's a sort of odd color choice, but nonetheless, hopefully this will come together when I start making everything else. I think your motivation level is the highest when you start making a painting, so I need to make as much of this as well as I possibly can before my motivation runs out. Like, and in between here, so his kneecaps will be sort of glowing, and then all around here under his arm it won't be that much brightness, like on his butt, on his ass, arse I think the Scottish people call it. Anyway, I need to fill in most of this, and I do think that this part won't necessarily have that much light in it. It's like up against the wall. This part not quite that much as well, and then we will sort of have that come in behind here, and as well of behind here. This one probably won't have that much light on it, sort of extending on his arm crease and up towards his shoulder, like so, and then a bit better behind here, and then we would have to make this here dark as well, or at least darker, and all the way up towards here, sort of. Looks stupid, but I like it. And we'll have a bit purplish color for his top arm. I do believe those would be a bit brighter, and then this one right there, like so. And then we would have this in a lot brighter color. His kneecaps, because they are also shining in the light, or at least they have a bit more light on them, sort of. I do think that the light source is somewhere up here, so I'll just use that as reference. I won't paint the sun this time, because I do want this light to be a bit like, not necessarily pale, but a bit tempered. And I am now realizing I don't have music on, and it makes maybe it makes me not be able to think that well. Well, let's have some bit more color in his beard, at least on the underside, a bit more purple. And I do want his beard to go like all the way down here and into his hand, and then I want his beard to like flow all the way down, but I don't think that is possible. But nonetheless, let me start making his hair, which will be long and flowing, of course. I don't see any reason as to it not being that. And we won't necessarily see that much of his top hair. So I have done a bit oopsie and made it a bit too far up, perhaps. Perhaps, not necessarily, but yeah. Like so, and then we'll put on this one, and then turn down the music or the sound, like so. And then let me just feel his luscious, beautiful hair all the way down here. I don't believe I would want his hair in like his in front of him, so I do believe I would need to have this a bit darker, a bit more blue, and this a bit more blue, and this one also a bit more blue. closer again. Like so, perhaps. And then I would have to cover everything in like plants and such. But I do want his like face to not have eyes, but I do want the indication that he has like something resembling of eyes, because you know, if you make a god statue with eyes, he's just going to see all the bullshit you're doing, and I don't believe that would be that pog. Now I'm really just filling in every color with purple to my best ability. It is a sort of white in his face, and I thought it was a bit too white, so I am doing this, and all the white will sort of be a bit more highlights of his face, which is good. And then I will make his hair yet again. Like that. I like it. Do you like it? I think it looks good. Hello, Elder Scrolls guards. Are you do you like how well I have portrayed Lord and Savior Jesus or God? I'm not quite sure, but some sort of character of major belief. Yeah, it's looking great. Thank you. And I want him in like this pit, of course. So I would have this like right here to be sort of a little hill. Right, and that going on here as well. And then I would need like sort of cliff looking things, like all the way down, because you know he's huge. And then I need sort of something, I think, like sort of like this, right? And then I want sort of like this. So this sort of comes a bit forward. That makes sense. And he's just chilling there. Now, I need to have a bigger pencil. And it is looking very tame. For now. I will fix it. I promise. Myself, that is. Now. I am a bit uncertain. I do need the big pink one, wherever that is. Oh yeah, it was still green. And that one's hot. Fuck. Maybe I can salvage it. I'm not quite sure. it's a bit stiff, but either way, I will take all of this white that I have, and then I will have this all in a whitish color, and I want it to sort of bend around his face, because you know he's creating everything from his mind, sort of like a Jedi, making people do whatever. And so yeah, I want this to sort of bend around him, because that makes sense. Like so. And then I need a bit more white, of course. Let me just remove this lump of things. A bit more white. Amazing, never been done before. A bit blue and a bit pink, and then we can mix in this and have it watered down, of course. And then we can continue on. Making everything of the sky, or like whatever mist is around here, walking around his head. Like that. That makes sense. It looks good. And then we should have a bit, we should have a bit purplish green. Some purplish green coming right up. That's enough purple. And then some wherever that green I used yesterday. If I have anything. If I don't have more greens than the things that are relatively empty, I'm going to be sad. Okay. It made me sad, but I do have a green one here. I just didn't want to open the whole thingy. at least I wanted to avoid it until it was absolutely necessary. Now I have more red and a lot more blue and more black as well, and more white and more yellow, which is fantastic, really. But we only needed green. It has tape over them. Fuck. Like that, and we'll have some green right there. But it needs to be darker, so I am thinking a bit Play-Doh blue as well, because I did put a lot, and then I mean a lot of green unnecessarily. So we will drag that onto here. And it's looking a lot more blue than I would like, so I will have a bit of red. That's a lot. I mean, that's probably just the right amount. I said, with hope in my heart. And then all this half-dried paint. Like so. This is a nice color. And someone's at the door. Trixie. I didn't have to go all the way down because we have a terrace in front of it. And he said that I was going to tell my mom that someone was at the door, and I don't believe that I will do that because I don't know why. He didn't say if it was important or not, so I will avoid it by all costs. Now, this thing right here. I want it to be a bit steep, of course, and a bit straight, or like edgy. Right, precisely, and then I need to fill in this with that color as well, and then this space as well. And I will extend this part a bit, so it looks a bit more like a snug little indent, and it was perfectly planned that they chose to put the statue right there. And that gives me also a chance to make his feet a bit better. So, like that. Perfect. And this side as well. This is moving towards that, but it is bending downwards, right towards him. And then we can fill this in with color. how much needs to be filled in. I am not that good at making people, but I try. So I will have a bit more blue in this color, if that's possible, please. There is the blue. A bit more blue. And a bit more red. I will use this one because crimson is darker than primary. And I hate this godforsaken tape. It's not really tape as well, it's just bothering the hours. Quite just the right amount, like so. And I haven't gotten paint in my wound, which is amazing. I did not believe I was capable. But this is a quite nice of a color, and I will put this on the downside like so, and I will fill in all of the space, and as well as making some lumps here for his for the trees. So I will have this be a bit rounded down on the edge, because that's where we will put some trees to emphasize his hugeness, his humongousness. And we will have this sort of like this, and I will have like the seat like where he's sitting a bit bigger, as if they wanted to make more statues of other people of great creational purposes, but they did not. Something happened and they weren't able to make more of the statues, probably because it's a long process. And then we will have the water going right beside him, and we can have the mist coming up. He is sort of sitting in water, which is kind of disgusting. I wouldn't sit my ass down where just straight into the water personally, but if he's God, he is able to do whatever he wants. Yeah, definitely. I mean, who are you to protest his magnificence? He looks a bit naked, not going to lie. Or his feet look a bit huge, but I don't know how to fix that. But nonetheless, we can have this bit greener color, and the thingy is buffering, which is fine. Then I can fill that in like quite right here, quite nicely, where all these trees are coming in, and then right here, because they won't be like right where the water is flowing down. At least I don't believe so. And I can have it go a bit further up right here. Yeah, that looks amazing. Not going to pat myself on the back, but I do believe I need these trees here as well to like emphasize that the whatever water is flowing down here is going directly down there as well. So there are things growing on these sides as well. sort of hide his bum because there's trees growing in the way. Like so. That makes sense. I like it. I think I will have a bit brighter trees on the top here, but I think I would need a smaller brush. Sort of this one, it's a bit wet. I don't know what I think I used it somewhere. But if not, I don't know why this brush is wet. But I will have a bit of this, but not that much, just to tone it down and have it the same shade, so it's not just a new complete green color. And I will have these here and here all the way around, sort of crunching it, and I will have it here as well, all the way around, all the way in the back of his head. And I can probably have a bit bigger tree just on the top there, and then the waterfall will be in the back here, and we can sort of see that it's sprouting out. I do want to believe that I am capable of doing that, but yeah, like that. I like it. It has a really nice sense of color to it. I just need to have the same shading downwards as well as there, and I'm trying to remove a bit of the big bumps, and I don't believe that would look nice. So oops, but it happens. I mean, it literally just did. Now, I am seeing that his leg looks a bit big, so I wanted to sort of go to there, at least. So hopefully this is the color. It's a bit more green. Fuck. And then we want a bit greener to make this, you know, at least the tops can be brighter blue. No, I mean brighter green. Fuck. Like that. And then I'll just have to fix that at some point. Let me just have a bit brighter green on top of here. And on top of here. And on top of here. Just to have some lighter points, and then we can fill this in yet again, so it's not translucent, or at least a bit less translucent. Okay. Trying to blend them downwards again. Not that it is easy, but I will try, because if I don't try, there's no point. Like so. Now, what do you think? Does he look huge? Does he look big? Does he look wonderful? Does he look like does he look like Jesus? Probably not, but he looks like a huge statue, or like some form of what's it called? It looks like an important figure in history, and that is what I would want to emphasize. Fun. But I need to have a cigarette because it needs to dry a bit, and I will take you out of the computer and I will turn you around to this magnificent face. And I stepped in my dog's food, which isn't very pog of me, but nonetheless it does happen. Unfortunately, I did it like an hour ago as well. Now, amazing, you can see me. Now, I am a bit perplexed as to, ouch, as what to quite specifically what to do next. I do sort of believe that it can look really, really amazing, but not for the moment. It does not. I do believe to sort of fix the thingy is to make him look a bit more grey, like actually grey. Which, you know, he's now purple and bluish, so I do want him to look purple grey, a bit more actually grey, and then have a bit more shadow, also purple grey or grey purple perhaps. I am a bit uncertain, but I do believe that it can look amazing just by the fact that I am painting it, you know. So I do believe that the trees are looking amazing. I think not quite sure, but I do want the water to sort of come outwards and then fall down, and because the cliffs, at least the one cliff on the left side, is sort of out and bending a bit backwards, as it has now currently done. So, ouch. Therefore, I think it would look fun for the waterfall to flow down and sort of fly its way downwards. And I want to make him look ingrown. Not quite sure how to do that, to be completely honest, but nonetheless, I think it would look nice if I keep that ingrown and nature texture on like the parts where things would grow, and like on his shoulders, not necessarily on his head that much, and like on his body. And I don't know quite what to do with the sky, but I do want a lot of mist, at least down where his legs are. So perhaps I am capable of doing that. And other things. What about this painting? I don't think I would want clouds. I think the sky is quite overgrown with clouds. Like, it's just white, and I think that looks nice if, since there is some sort of bending towards around his head, I think it looks quite nice. Maybe just have another, fill it in a bit more, perhaps, sort of like that, precisely. Now let me just pick you up and let's walk inside where it's not that ridiculously hot. I don't know why I dress in all black, but I need to stop doing that. It's a bit too hot. Now, let me zoom you in. Like that. And let me go on to painting him. Yet again. Now, it is looking quite nice. And I'm not having like the downwards view that I would want, but having it sort of on a distance a bit upwards do look nice, although it was not my intention. It can work, definitely. So what if I do what? What if I start with the sky, because it's furthest behind, and then I can sort of remove a bit green here and a bit green here. I don't want that tree, it looks dumb. Now let me have this one. Oh no, I left the pencil in here. That's not good. That's a oopsie. That's what we are trying to avoid, quite frankly. But 8 and 8. I could just use the same one, but I like the pink one better. Let's have a bit of this blue in this color, in this white. So it looks a bit misty. And the colors are, quite frankly, a lot of blue and a lot of purple. So I do want this to also be that, you know? That makes sense. But this is probably a bit too much blue. And let me just remove this tree, painting over it. Maybe I would have to paint over it twice. But I do want it to look a bit more purple. I like the tone it gave. I would have to put in some more purple. So, and then we can transform all of this into here and make it purple. This is a very light purple. It's not light enough. Maybe. Yeah, it's a too purple. So it's a bit too bright. It is. I need to dampen it down with a bit more white, and then perhaps a bit of tiny amount of black. Maybe that would work. Not a lot, just a teeny tiny dot of it. Like so. And now it looks grey. Not what I was going for. And it looks green. So I need to have a bit more purple in there. Like this. Yes, I like this. Yes, amazing. This is exactly what I wanted. And I can paint a bit over all of the trees because I will have to paint them yet again. And then over all of this. And all of this corner. Like that. And all of this. And I will remove that one. Like so, sort of. And in between this here and all the way around his lovely little head. Amazing. Bit more color there. less greenery here, and then soon we will be really nice. I like it. It has a nice misty look to it, which is my intention. Now, I would make the trees and this, and then work on his appearance. And I will have this light green, of course, having a bit blue in there to tone it down. And then I will paint all of this. Like so. And then this here as well. Like that. And then this as well. Like so. Like sort of, and I can probably paint over these as well, just since I am having the green on my pencil, like so. So I know where the trees are. Amazing. Now these things right there, I would want them to be green-ish. So I will have this sky and I will put it into the green. All of it. Literally all of it. And I need it to be a bit more blue or a bit more purple. Can't quite surely know. But let me try. If there's even, ouch, if there is even the slightest amount of purple in here. Like, there we go. That's all I'm capable of pressing in without using both of my thumbs. And we'll mix that in this corner right here until I am pleased. And I am pleased already, which is phenomenal. Like so, and then we will start painting them all the way down to these trees and all the way up to this point, and I will be careful and paint only where I want the structures or this cliff wall to be, like so. amazing. It is becoming a bit more brighter than I was initially having, so I can have this darker as well. And I will try my best to not interfere too much with his body, but I do want the lines to meet the statue, of course. And then I would have to have a bit more green up behind here, so it so he is a bit outgrown, or a bit ingrown, I mean, like a toenail. And then I'll do this. And fill in all of this as well. Quite nicely. This as well, but this is where the waterfall will be flowing down from, so I'm careful. And let me just have this all filled in, sort of. I do want there to be a slight distinction between the things, so I do want just a bit of a gap there. Just so we can see that this is truly in front of it, or at least in front of everything else going on. And then I need to fill in this last little part. Like so. This is looking phenomenal. As always, you know, I can't make a bad picture. And I can I need a bit more blue wherever the blue is. There is at least one of the blues, and it was hard getting up, of course. And just two dots of blue paint. And a half, just in case. And because it spilled on the side of the bottle thingy, so I don't want to make it harder for myself to open it on later occasions. And I will have this purple into this right here, or at least what's left of it. And then I can fill, that's way too fucking blue. So I will tone it down with a little black. So sort of like this. Yes. And then that is better. That is a lot better. And then I want a slight indent for the waterfall right here as well. But there's no defined edges necessarily. Just like this. Amazing. And I do realize that his knees are sort of a bit taller than what I necessarily would want, so I do believe I want the cliff to go a bit higher up here as well, so it would make sense. I don't know what materials they used to build him in this side of the hillside, but I do believe that they just built it out of rocks that they cut out from a different place, because that would be most realistic, since this is already like naturally shapen to like that, or he's just a really huge human that sat his ass down and started to decompose. Now, water. I wanted it to be at least a bit bright up top there. So, I would need a bright blue. If I can take this one. And this godforsaken tape, of course. I forgot. Now. And then I can have a bit. That's a lot. I'm now used to squeezing out of full painting tubes, so either way I need light colors. I need some white. Like that. And then I should be golden. And I should have used a different pencil. Of course. okay. I really like this blue color, so I will paint it in the corner here so I can remember it. For nostalgic purposes, of course. Now, let me have a smaller pencil, please. And it can probably be this one because it's nice and pointy. And there's a hair. And let me start spewing it from there and on to here. To my best ability, that is. And it needs to be sort of straight looking. So, but it can be a bit shallow at places. So it is like, it looks a bit more running. Quite like that. And then I want to sort of fill it into here and then have another one going down right here into the abyss. Sort of like this. I just need this to be a bit bluer. Like so. Have a bit brighter spots in here as well, so it looks a bit defined and a bit varying, because water, it is sort of varying. It doesn't necessarily have a constant, but it will always go down, at least. Now, fog, mist, don't know how to do that, but I would need a different pencil. Just like this. What sort of pencil do I need? I do not know. I would need less than 8. That's 12. That's 7, maybe. But do I have a 6? That's a 9. That's a 5. That's a 3. That's an 8. 12. 2. Here's a 6. It's green and hard. Here's another 6. It's... I can't even... Yeah, this... No. Fuck. So there's 7 it is. Now, white. I would need white, and I need water to make it translucent. translucent. I don't need a lot of white, thank you. That was just a teeny tiny amount, which is all that I need. Now, water, making it translucent. Just like that. And then have a bit of glue in it. Maybe a bit more. Like this, and then I need to remove the dot of glue that was on the pencil. And then I don't need a lot of color, and I need it to look not as white as this is. So, but let me just have the fog sort of nice and loose, sort of creeping from all of these corners, sort of like that, and I can have them going a bit here as well, and around, sort of in between the trees, if that is possible. Yes. Like that. That looks nice. And then I want it to be the same for here as well. A lot of fog from that, and I want it to sort of fall down, if that makes sense. If I am capable of doing such things. Fuck, my hair is messy. But I don't know quite how to make it fall down if I've made them really bright. So maybe sort of like a bit sort of. No, I think I'm ruining my painting, but that's okay. I need to try. It's looking ugly, but I would have to paint some of these trees yet again. Maybe if I make it a bit undecisive, if I shake it up a bit and make it a bit more swirly. But no, I do believe I have destroyed and ruined all of the glory that I could possibly have in this painting. Anyway, let me just make some fog here in between his legs as well. Let me just pretend that this was supposed to happen. Yes, we can pretend and to contrast, to remove my errors. I can just do this, and then it looks sort of this. It looks dumb. It looks quite ridiculous. but it does look a bit more foggy at least. But let me just try to remove as much of this fog as possible. And then I need to make the waterfall yet again. And I need to remove a lot of this water. And then I need to sort of flatten it down right here, like that. And then I can, where did it go? There it is. And then I can take this blue yet again, and I can make the water. Like so. Amazing. And I can have a bit more of this fog color, and I can sort of make small little clouds. I think that would be a bit better. Sort of making small little fog clouds. I do believe it will look better if I don't just try to make like silent fog. It needs to sort of be moving about a bit. So I can have a little fog cloud up here, and then it is moving a bit bigger in between his legs because of, you know, it's the place to be. And then over here, and then it's a little big poofy cloud going upwards, and it's not completely dried out, but yeah, it's okay. It can be a nice little darker color for the clouds. I like this color. And it can be sort of instead of having clouds here, we have clouds down here. What an innovating thing that I just did. I am so progressive in the art community. It's ridiculous. Like you wouldn't even think to look here for the next Picasso, but you are now. The 8 million people watching me, of course. And I can this a bit more cloud looking. It's not dried a single bit, but I do need it to be brighter, and I do need these clouds to be a bit more cloud-like. And I need a small little fog cloud over here because it's cute, and it will sort of hide that it's not the same color as the other things anymore. But I will have to let that dry before painting it yet again. Maybe. Perhaps I want to hide all these light spots in between here, so I would have to make the clouds again, of course, but I want the background to look as background as possible and not as translucent as it is currently looking. And I will continue to have this color over here, so it is unified and truly the same. And here as well. Like so. Perhaps, yeah, it looks nice. And then I would want a bit clouds behind here as well, and maybe have some clouds going down with the water. Now, do you want to see my mistakes? Because, you know, this color is not the same as this and this because of all the fog I just yeeted across, but I do like this outcome a bit better, and then I want a bit more clouds up here and a bit behind here, maybe on his lap as well, but I do want things growing on him, and I do need to make this a bit better, but it looks great. It looks amazing. I am amazed by my talent. Like, who would have thought this is how well and amazing I am at doing this. Good. Now, I need to work on the statue, but I am not willing to do that yet. For a reason I can't yet quite put my finger on. It may be because I want this waterfall to be a bit whiter, maybe. Like I just felt like I wasn't quite done with what I was doing initially before I started fucking around. But I do believe this needs to be a bit colored. And you see it isn't matching because I need to emphasize that this is a different part as well. So it stoops down here, making a big splash, and it goes somewhere in a little pond here, and then it stoops down there. Amazingly, I know I am truly the creator of our times. Now, let me have a bit gray color, so I will put some black in whatever's left of this weird purple color. Probably a bit too much, but I think it's okay. Yeah, probably a bit too much gray, but that's okay because we are doing this right here, meaning this can be a bit more colorful. I mean, at least to the degrees I am capable of doing such things, such vile things let me do like so, and all the way over here. Sort of like this, and then I need it to be a bit brighter. To fill in on top of his legs a bit, and then I need to mix it in as well as I am capable of, and as well as the colors want to. And then this spot here, like so, and then we can go to the bit darker one right here, and then follow through to this point, kind of like that, and then do sort of the same thing on this side. Amazing, I am outdoing myself as always. And then I can have a bit different shade of grayish. Well, I can fill in his middle part arms. His upper arm, which won't necessarily be as bright as the other spots. And I can just fill in everything I would want as a sort of dark shade. And then fill it into my best abilities, of course. With the color that is left in the thingy. Now I would need a brighter color, so I'm putting in some blue. So it does look a bit more blue than what I initially wanted, but that's probably okay. And I'm sort of blending it to like where it would be even more shading than right on, essentially. And moving it sort of upwards. It's a bit hard to using colors and shading in the way you would shade. Now, do you possibly need a bit more refreshed color because it's a bit sticky working with, and that did the trick, of course, because I'm truly a magician as well. Like so, and then I can do this part here, sort of, kind of, to my best ability. And trying to fill in as much color as would be necessary, so it isn't like showing through. It is showing through, but I'm trying to minimize the way it is shining through, if that makes sense. So like that. Amazing. And then I can have a darker shade right here as well, because it's like in under his ear and such things. And then I can have that as well here, because the same, it's under, you know. And I can sort of, I need a bit more water. I don't want the color to just look translucent. That's a bit too dark. That's a bit too not. A bit more light blue because it has more white values in it. And it's probably a completely different shade. Sort of. Not quite, but I do see a differentiating shade. It's not quite the same. So I will just have that a bit around here, and then I can continue on here on his elbows. Like so. This is my soda. Yes, I do want it to be even just a tiny bit brighter when I do all of this, you know. I do need more color, more paint, but I am refusing to put more paint on my palette, because then it will be a completely different color. I just know it. Like so. And then I need to fill in up towards the sky as little as possible right here. And let his magnificent hair flow down behind his shoulders. Like that. And then I can fill in his beard with a bit darker color, just because I wanted to do it. And then I can fill in his beard going all the way down to his arms. Oh, of his magnificent beard. And then I need to fill in the top of the beard up towards his nose. And then I need to make everything in his face. Or maybe I can keep it purple, making it a bit more lifelike. At least his face. Maybe. I don't quite know. Anyway, if I just make it really translucent and have a quite minimal amount of paint on it, maybe it can sort of have the colors shine through, possibly. Not really, but that's okay, because we can see that it is a human. The people making it wasn't that well at portraying things to the best way, and I do think that it is quite okay. It's not the end of the world per se. Not, at least not in this picture. In the picture I did yesterday, that was the end of the world. But it's a bit sticky still, so I will go out for my bad habits, like there, and then I can turn you around to this gorgeous looking face, of course, around the table to where my pack is, because I don't have it in my pocket because then it would just be mushed. But out here yet again, since the sun isn't that obnoxiously huge. I mean, it is blinding, but it's from the side and not from there, so I can sit here. But I need to fix the trees at least, and the fog, obviously, and then possibly, perhaps, I could and then I need to have some sort of indication as to life growing onto the statue. That's a cute Bitmoji. Hello, Gutenberg. Are you doing okay? Are you enjoying the masterpiece, or did you just come on here right now? Because if you just showed, I need to explain my painting, of course. But I'm making a statue, and in like a massive statue, sitting on the terrain around him, and it's all sort of outgrown and misty and a bit abandoned, you might say, and it's not looking like a human. I don't want him to have eyes, because if you give a statue who's like supposed to represent all creation, it will judge you and see everything. So he doesn't have eyes. Yeah, essentially, and a small waterfall right behind him, creating all this fog and mist, of course. I need to make the trees look like trees, because currently they are not looking like trees. So that's that. It's not really anything in the sky because I don't think it's necessary, and I don't really care for the sky. Everything is happening on the bottom side, so yeah. I'm burning my skin. I didn't wear sunscreen today because I didn't want to, and I did the mistake of wearing all black. But it happens. Not my best idea, but at last it happened. How was your day? It is currently going quite well. I quite amazed that I have still ideas for things to paint. It has a different vibe, definitely, with the destruction of humanity yesterday and this abandoned figure of something divine. So it's not all cozy, but I woke up at 1 and I had this really, really long dream because I remember waking up at 10, looking at the clock, and then just going back to sleep and having the same dream, and then it sort of stopped. It didn't want to continue, and at that point I looked at the clock and it was 1, and I completely forgotten everything I dreamed about, and there was no point going back to sleep again. So yeah. And then I ate breakfast and I scooted down to the store to buy my pink monster, of course. And there was these 3 kids that occupied a lot of space, and I stopped for 2 seconds, and then I pressed myself in there and said, "Sorry, excuse me." And then I just pointed to the thing, and then I grabbed the thing and yeeted out of the store professionally. But there was a lot of people in the self-checkout, no one in the cashier, so I had to wait, which was annoying because the kids used a lot of time checking themselves out. Or they were done, but they still stood there, and it was annoying, quite honestly. And not a big fan of kids using a lot of time. Maybe I'm just growing old, which is, I'm not a fan. I don't want to be old. I want to be youthful forever. But you can't always get what you want. Now we are back here, and I will pop you into the charger, and I will zoom in quite like this. Perfectly. Now I can see now that this top is a lot darker than this, so I would have to fix that quite nicely with some translucent paint down here. Maybe it will add something, not quite sure, because the paint is sort of dry, so, and mixing water in it won't always have the same color, but sort of like that. That can work, and I do believe I want his appearance on the top to be a bit brighter than what it is currently. So hopefully this is a brighter color, and I can paint in his eyes and his complete existence in this brighter and shaded color. Sort of, kind of, it's not going that well, but that's okay. I didn't have that high hopes for this painting, and it is more of a practice piece than anything. I will have this mouth as well, where the beard isn't existing, and I will have to paint a bit over with the darker color to emphasize where the beard is, and I will have sort of a bit more color in that general area, like so. Don't think I can make this person looking better at all. So, fuck. There is now paint on the floor, which I would need to remove. And I did that perfectly. And I would not want to have more paint on the chairs. So I had to move myself with my feet. But that's a lot of weight. But anyway, I think making the fog, the clouds, like that's wet. And I should really just have the white on top, but since I didn't do that right away, I would have to have a darker shade of this, or a bit bluer, to emphasize that later down the line in a few seconds, like that, and then I can have this here and sort of transfix the color. And then I can have a bit more of this white, and then I can fix this huge cloud right here, and I can have it brighter on top than on the bottom, and sort of make sure I don't do the same thing down there, so it's different and better. Sort of like that. I can have it in darker shades here if it's possible, please. Sort of like that. Sort of. And then have a whiter cloud up in here. Like that. And then this right here. And then the way up on this one as well. Like so. And then I can have this darker color just right here to make another cloud. Or like a fog cloud, but yes. Having it sort of like that. And making the color whiter. And moving the color a bit brighter. And then even brighter. Like sort of like this. Fogging a bit like that. And yes. Like so. Can probably move like that. A bit like that. And yeah, I need to fix the trees. And then I need the green. Ouch. It can have the green right. It farted, which is fun. And I need it to be, it can be really green up at the tops, of course. And then I would have to darken the color quite a bit. Just needing to have these tops like so. And after fixing the greens, I don't quite know what else to do with the picture. Like putting more color on it won't necessarily help, because I am not sure how to make it better. I'll have a bit darker color down at the bottom of these. A bit more blue, that is, at least. Hopefully it will translate well. Like so. And then like this. And underneath here and in between there. And then inside here as well. I need it to look like, you know, I need it to look like trees. So, yes, I don't know how to make moss on him, and I will completely give up on trying to do that. But look how amazing he looks now. It looks he's not defined. He is sort of just there, blending in, not trying to be suspicious and trying to hide himself, possibly. And I am quite happy with this painting. But I do believe it needs to stay there for a while so it doesn't fold itself and crease itself. But I am quite happy with this result. You can perhaps not necessarily see that much, but he's there without eyes, of course, because if he had eyes, he would be able to judge you, and you don't want him to judge you. But I am quite pleased with my results, and I hope you have enjoyed watching. And I don't know if I will stream tomorrow, just like yesterday. Maybe it will happen, and maybe it won't. It will be magical, but I will write and say whether or not I will be live in the Discord chat. So be sure to do that and follow me, because the more the merrier, you know? And I hope you have a nice day, at least what's left of it. And maybe I will see you tomorrow. Goodbye.